Hi everybody, my name is Tanya Bannister and I'm president of Concert Artists Guild. I'm thrilled to be sharing with you today 8 amazing musicians that are part of our Elmaleh 2022 virtual competition. Concert Artists Guild is a non-profit that empowers musicians and launches careers. And we do that in 3 critical ways. The first is that they get management, and that is performances across the country and around the world, as well as being exposed to the music industry at large. Secondly, we have to make sure these musicians can sustain a career. How do they do that? How are they going to earn money? Well, we have our 360 Leadership Development Program that they're going to be part of for the next few years. It's so important that each one of them becomes the CEO of their own business, as well as learning how to give back to the communities around them. Thirdly, they gain a network through their fellow roster mates, as well as the incredible alumni that have been in existence since CAG started in 1951. So, I invite you to relax, enjoy the performances and these introductions from these wonderful artists, and join us tomorrow at 12 p.m. on the Violin Channel to see who the winners are going to be. Thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Everybody, this is Sophia Bacelar. I am 26 years old, and I am very sorry if it's a little loud. I'm currently sitting in LAX. I'm on tour, and I'm about to fly to New York City, so it's a little busy around me, and I tried to find the quietest place to make this video. But anyway, I started the cello when I was 2. My father was a cellist, and in a very Cuban fashion, Cubans have a very DIY approach to life. He eventually learned to make instruments and became a full-time luthier, which resulted in me being raised in a home surrounded by instruments. So becoming a cellist was very, very natural for me. I also grew up painting and studying visual arts. My grandmother was an artist, so painting, drawing, sculpting, photography, they were always very important to me and part of my upbringing. There are actually several points in my life where I seriously considered quitting cello to become a photographer or filmmaker. And during the pandemic, when I had a lot of free time, I actually ended up studying film at Columbia, which was one of the pivotal experiences for me that has greatly informed a lot of my current work and the direction in which I've gone as an artist. Overall, I think the fundamental thread in all of my projects and work is that I've always been very passionate about storytelling and communication. As a kid, I was always living in a fantasy land I'd invented in my imagination and writing stories about the people and experiences around me. I think as humans, we all have this primal instinct to connect and communicate with one another, and the arts in all of their forms have always been a bridge for me in communicating with the people around me. As an artist and communicator, I think it's very important for me to explore as broad of a range of mediums as possible in order to reach and touch audiences. And this has resulted in me becoming a bit of I didn't choose this term, but people have applied it to me. I've become a bit of an interdisciplinary artist. Of course, I'm a classically trained cellist, and I spent most of my life performing in the format expected of traditional classical musicians. But a few years ago, while I was doing my artist diploma at Juilliard, I became interested in working with other forms of performance and ended up collaborating a lot with dancers and eventually taking acting lessons in the drama department at Juilliard. When I graduated from Juilliard in December, I moved to LA, where I've been studying acting at the Stella Adler Academy and working on several short films that combine my background as a cellist and visual artist, as well as elements from dance. I'm not a dancer, but luckily a lot of my friends are wonderful dancers, so I collaborate a lot with the dance world. Something about me that's totally unrelated, but very important in my life, is that I'm very passionate and dedicated to practicing martial arts. Unless I'm traveling, like right now, I typically train in both Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai every day, which is also why I'm usually covered in bruises. People who don't know that I do martial arts sometimes notice this in photos or in person, and I always have to explain myself. But I always say that after 25 years of training as a classical musician, I've developed a sort of masochistic love of pain, and that nothing really hurts anymore after having gone 2-3 conservatories and spent many of those years doing 16-hour days in the practice rooms. But yeah, anyway, thank you for getting to know me a little bit and listening. I'm going to run now because I have to catch this flight, but I appreciate all of your time. Thank you.
my name is Anna Im. I'm a violinist from South Korea. I was born and raised in Korea until the age of 13. I knew I wanted to study abroad when I decided to become a violinist. I moved to the UK alone at 13 to study with a violinist that I met in a masterclass in Korea. I then went to study at the Curtis Institute of Music in America for 6 years, and now I'm studying at the Burr Academy of Music in London for a master's degree. As a child, it was not an easy journey to be away from home, learning a new language, and adapting to a new environment and culture. But the experiences and challenges from an early age expanded my capabilities and helped me build enduring, independent, and enterprising qualities as an artist. Outside of music, I love going to galleries like the National Gallery in London. Most recently, I was fascinated by this work, the portrait of Cornelis van der Heest by the Flemish painter Anthony van Dyck. I also love knitting, crafting, and reading in my free time. Classical music has its own power from having no frame of words or visualization. But at the same time, this form of art faces difficulty in engaging people in a competitive market. As much as being a great player and a musician, I believe we as artists have to also focus on how to project ourselves in a fresh way to audiences. Our industry has to work more creatively to seek ways to involve people in our lives through music and make our audiences see how music can help them feel inspired and connected. This may require our collaboration with experts from various fields and organisers who have the ability to realise the ideas in concert form. I've been recently interested in collaborating on serene animation art and music together, and I'm constantly thinking of possibilities and generating ideas in my free time. Essentially, artists must curate their own lives more than ever before, both in projecting their identity and working with others. Concert Artists Guild brings young artists to connect with their audiences in each artist's unique way, and it is my absolute dream to join such a wonderful team to get real opportunities to share my music and ideas with audiences. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Eleni Katz, and I'm a bassoonist, vocalist, and collaborative artist from Iowa City, Iowa. As a UNESCO City of Literature, Iowa City values collaboration, community, and creativity. Iowa City reimagined how literature is taught and how literature is being performed today. Through being a part of this vibrant artistic community, I realized that my current values as a musician fall directly in line with the core values of the city, and it helps me envision a bright future for the concert hall. The innovative and collaborative spirit of Iowa City inspires my nonlinear and multidisciplinary path as a bassoonist. During the pandemic, I tapped into two areas of interest that draw connection to my hometown and enhance my music making: poetry and jazz. When I first moved to Iowa City, my 6-year-old self was very delighted to win a Poetry in the Public competition for my composition, Puppy Shopping. 20 years later, I continued to write poetry, but this time it was a poem that reflected the anxiety of change during the pandemic. My raw and vulnerable poem, Sea Glass, was transformed into a piece with multimedia projections for my final recital at Yale called Sea Glass Partita for Singing Bassoonist by Lila Moretsky. The poem compares the artist's journey to a piece of sea glass being tossed in the waves. I see a future for setting text to commissions of work and collaborating with poets in recital programs. Reading and writing poetry allows me to feel connected to the text and to draw the audience into the brain of the performer. The parallels between poetry and music mark an avenue that I would like to further explore if I were to join the CAG roster. Secondly, Iowa City is also known for its annual jazz festival that I would attend every summer growing up with my family. After coming home from work, my dad would play jazz piano every night. And as I was growing up, I would constantly have jazz piano in the background with everything. Jazz CDs in my ear on road trips, everything. Jane Monheit, Tierney Sutton, Sarah Gazarek, Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, and Stacey Kent are some of my biggest inspiration as jazz vocalists. Through the improvisatory nature of jazz, I gave myself the permission to further explore the concept of singing and playing, and this was something that I would also like to further explore if I was a part of the CAG artist roster. The pandemic made me address many questions that I've been wrestling with for quite a while. How do we engage audiences with a more genuine and authentic way? How do we perform and collaborate with more underrepresented artists? How do I intertwine all of my artistic passions? For me, the past couple of years were a rich and fruitful time of innovation, not stagnation. A time period in which the bassoon, human voice, and multimedia joined forces to ignite audience connection. It was my mission not to see the pandemic as a time for synonymous paralysis, but rather a time of cooperative collaboration to impact the world with art. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Magdalena Kuźma, and I am a 25-year-old Polish-American soprano from New York City. My interest in music began as a child. Despite not having any formal musical training, both of my parents believed in the Mozart effect, which is a theory that classical music helps increase general cognition. So as a child, I listened to Mozart, Chopin, Vivaldi, CDs that were in constant rotation. I then became obsessed with musical theater at age 5 when I saw Cats on Broadway, and I fell in love with the music despite not speaking English at the time. And this was a really special moment for me because it was my first experience realizing music as a universal language. At age 14, I found myself learning classical voice at LaGuardia Arts High School, which is located in Lincoln Center. And during my time there, I decided I really wanted to focus my studies on opera, and I enrolled in Juilliard's pre-college program for 2 years while simultaneously still studying at LaGuardia and Polish school on the weekends. Besides music, I've always had a fascination with social neuroscience and developmental behavior. So I enrolled as a double degree student at Oberlin, where I received a Bachelor of Arts in Cognitive Psychology with a concentration in neuroscience, and I received a Bachelor's of Music in Vocal Performance. I'm now currently enrolled at the Yale School of Music, where I am an opera singer, but I find that I use my training in psychology both in social and musical contexts on a daily basis. One of my main goals as an artist is to provide accessibility to classical music in less privileged communities. I also aim to program Polish works that are not frequently celebrated. Before the pandemic, I was scheduled to have a solo performance with Carnegie Hall through their initiative, Carnegie Citywide Series, which intends to present free concerts across the country to communities who might not otherwise have been able to experience various types of musical genres. The summer of 2020, I teamed up with Fill in the Blank Ensemble to use social media to our advantage during the COVID-19 crisis. The ensemble's mission is to provide access to music we as performers feel is underappreciated in typical conservatory training and standard repertoire canons. I chose a Polish piece by Chopin called Życzenie, which I recorded at home, and then I edited my friend's piano playing and my voice together. This past spring, I put together a free live performance, a recital to the public sponsored by the New York Foundation for the Arts. My mission was to help broaden accessibility and revitalize live performance practice after many months of shutdowns. And I would love to continue these efforts with the help of the Concert Artists Guild. Thank you.
Season Hello, my name is Llewellyn Sanchez-Werner, pianist and composer. I'm 25. This is the most important thing in my life. It's how I wish to make a contribution to society. My goal is to have an enduring career as a concert pianist, performing solo recitals, chamber music, and concerti, while continuing to compose, to improvise, and to conduct from the keyboard. Beyond the vast piano repertoire, which daily makes my spirit soar, I draw inspiration from other places as well. Opera, especially Mozart and Wagner, jazz musicians like Charlie Parker, Miles Davis, and Bill Evans, and as a Mexican, Welsh, German, Jewish American, I enjoy programming 20th and 21st century composers in their kaleidoscopic diversity. I'm particularly interested in Mexico, the birth country of my mom, and Mexican composers like Carlos Chavez and Manuel Ponce. I'm profoundly interested in the artistic bridge building possible to performances on the stage and advocacy beyond the stage. There's such a rich history in classical music of imaginative use of that music to advance social change. I think of Mozart and de Pont in The Marriage of Figaro, Barenboim with the West Eastern Divan Orchestra, and beyond classical too, like Barney Josephson and the Café Society in Greenwich Village. That activism has long inspired me to incorporate a similar philosophy in the character of my career. In Iraq, I performed with the Iraqi National Symphony Orchestra for Iraqis of all ages, US soldiers, and diplomats from around the world. We performed Iraqi music, Jewish American music, and European music, donating funds to the Children's Cancer Care Clinic and celebrating UN World Day for Cultural Diversity. I've engaged in similar work in Rwanda, France, Canada, and the US. Now, for me, a good day begins with a jog in Central Park or by the river. I love baseball, and I always have several online chess games going on with a wild collection of people. But during the pandemic, when the living room had become my virtual performing space, I realized I needed to get proactive. I learned how to tune my own piano, to fix a couple of broken strings, fix sticky keys. I was engaged by the Met Museum for a series of Llewellyn and Friends virtual concerts, and for those concerts I chose to focus on three themes: the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment, granting women the right to vote, BLM, and Beethoven's 250th, which was so overlooked that year. And separately, Yale selected me to work with the Zoom technicians when Yale petitioned to create an improved musician-friendly setting, which removed problematic equalization, and it resulted in the enhanced music mode that is used for lessons and masterclasses all around the world today. I am deeply appreciative of CAG's progressive and elevating mindset, and if I were fortunate enough to be selected, I would want to contribute an enthusiastic, versatile, and resourceful mindset to participate meaningfully in the broader CAG community, especially now, as we use the arts to uplift and heal society when it's at its most vulnerable. Thanks so much for your consideration.
Hey!
We are the Galvin Cello Quartet.
My name's Haddon. I'm from the Chicago suburbs.
My name is Luis. I'm from Sao Paulo, Brazil.
I'm Sydney. I'm from New Jersey.
I'm Sihao. I'm from Shanghai, China.
And we're all here at Northwestern University's Bienen School of Music studying with Hans Jensen. And we formed last year during the pandemic. And we thought it would be a fun challenge to go outside of the box and compete in Fischhoff's National Chamber Music Competition.
And it was actually a really fun time prepping for that competition. It was a great opportunity to really get to know each other, actually.
Yeah. We only had about 12 days to prepare 40 minutes of music for the recordings. So during those 12 days, we were, rehearsing most of the time. But even when we weren't rehearsing, we were eating together, taking naps together, watching TV together, playing games together.
Yeah, so essentially like living together.
Yeah, that's when we realized that we are very competitive when it comes to video games.
Yeah, we really found that we love to play Mario Kart and
Super
Smash
Smash
Bros. And especially these two here in the middle, they have a lot of tension when it comes to competing against each other.
Just enough.
But going back to what Sydney was saying about going outside of the box to compete as a cello quartet, you probably haven't seen or heard too many cello quartets performing or competing in today's classical music world. But we thought it would be a really fun and unique arrangement of instruments, especially because of the natural characteristics of the cello.
Yeah, we all think that cello timbre is very close to human voice. It's very deep, it has depth, and then its brilliance is just something that we really appreciate. And to put those four instruments together, it creates an ensemble which has unlimited possibilities.
Those unlimited possibilities are created by a wide range of pitch, colors, and styles of playing that you can get out of the cello. And what's great about that is that it allows us to play a really wide variety of genres and styles of music. And that really speaks to us as people. We all come from different backgrounds, from Brazil, from China, and Haddon and Sydney both from the United States, but both from immigrant families.
And this actually reflects one of our main goals as an ensemble. We really hope to unify and explore these different backgrounds and cultures and styles of music, while also simultaneously expanding the cello quartet repertoire, as there's not too much music written for us originally.
We hope that as a cello quartet, we can use our music to bring together people from any background, just as it brought together the four of us as friends.
Hi, I'm Ziggy.
And I'm Miles.
And in case our ensemble name didn't give it away, we're brothers.
But not twins.
We're originally from Melbourne, Australia, but have been based in New York City for the past 3 years.
We've been playing together as a duo for around 14 years. Initially that may have been thanks to our parents. But we quickly realised we much prefer performing together than as soloists.
Outside of music, we both love water skiing and cooking. Miles is very proud of his steak, and I have a lot of experience cooking salmon. However, our biggest hobby since we were little has always been listening to music.
As music listeners, we love music of all genres. Seeing and hearing the music that other artists create inspires us to push the boundaries of what's possible on two guitars. To do this, we frequently look outside of the instrument's repertoire, even outside of classical music, and as such, we regularly program music from diverse styles.
This ranges from traditional classical repertoire to modern works that showcase the vast array of colours and sounds that the guitar can produce.
And also to world music and jazz-influenced works, which even involve us improvising.
One of our ultimate goals is to become ambassadors for Australian music and arts as internationally touring performing artists. We aim to combat the country's cultural seclusion by increasing representation of Australian composers and arts internationally. We learned very quickly during our time in the US that musicians don't know what Australian music is. However, what took us a bit longer to realise was that outside of Australian arts communities, Australians don't know what Australian music is. So to increase this awareness, we always try to program at least one Aussie work in each of our concerts.
To expand the rather small guitar duo repertoire, we love working with composers to create new works. We give composers complete artistic freedom and as much support as they need to help achieve their vision, since guitar isn't really the friendliest instrument to write for.
In all our concerts, we try to create a relaxed and inviting environment through the personal connections and anecdotes we share about the pieces and composers we perform. We also always try and meet our audiences straight after our performances and connect with them.
Outside of the concert hall, we also love performing as part of community engagement. Across our hometown Melbourne and now New York City, we've performed for a wide range of venues and audiences, including medical care facilities, aged care facilities, and community centres. More recently, we've also created educational performances for elementary schools in New York City.
Our work in community engagement has led to some of our most challenging yet rewarding experiences as performers, and it has highlighted the amazing power music has to affect people. We feel grateful to be able to bring live music to people that otherwise wouldn't have access, and it gives us opportunities to tell different kinds of stories through our programs.
We'd love to hear what you experience with the music we have to share, and we hope you enjoy our videos.
2021 Fischoff Grand Prize winner is S7, the Risus Quartet.
Hello, we are Risus Quartet. Risus in Latin means laugh, and the main vision of the quartet is to bring joy and laughter to their audiences. Also, Risus means rising star is us.
Hi, we are Risus Quartet.
I'm Hailey Lee, playing violin.
Hi, I'm Jian Yu, playing violin.
I'm Mary Chang, I play viola.
I'm Bubeli, I play cello.
We are residency quartet in University of Texas at Austin, studying with Miro Quartet.
We are now at our favorite place at UT. As you can see, weather is great and there's a water. We love Austin.
Hi, I'm Hailey. I like to exercise when I'm not practicing because I can relieve my stress. Thank you.
Hello.
Oh, hi. I'm Jian. I like to go to the cafe and take a photo for this day. Hey, Miss Tang.
Oh, hi. This is Mary Chang from Risus Quartet. I like to cook outside of music. And
Hi, I'm Bube. I love to swim when I have free time. Swimming is actually really good for relaxing my body.
Hi, I'm Will from the Miro Quartet, and we love the Risus Quartet. They bring together 4 strong, independent women who raise the level of excellence of the quartet and of each other while bringing fun, laughter, and great music making to their audiences around the world.
As a group, we believe strongly in our mission to bring music to worldwide audiences and help convey the fact that despite our appearances, our race, and the country that we present, each and every one of us is at our core a human being.
Chamber music is really special to us because it lets us express them much wider. One of the most exciting things about growing as a group was seeing how our unique experiences and feelings combined into really deep and powerful interpretations.
Each piece of music is a beautiful story, and we importantly present the story from the composers. During rehearsals, we spend a lot of time writing the story that we want our audiences to hear. We hope to take our audiences along with us in our musical journey through the massive climaxes to the most intimate moments.
We love to share our music and story
all over the world! Thank you so much for watching our video, and once again, we really appreciate Concert Artists Guild to giving us this opportunity to share our story. Hope you all enjoyed. Bye!
you.